Now we continue with our coverage of Whitewater as we show you an exchange on the House floor today dealing with the style of questioning of White House staff during Whitewater hearings Thursday. In a couple of minutes, we'll hear from Representatives Peter King of New York and Maxine Waters of California. First, a segment from the Whitewater hearings, which led to the exchange on the House floor.
Chairman, I still have an orange light here as far as I know.
Well, the gentleman is going beyond the outer limits of propriety and is badgering the witness. He's asked the question, she's answered it.
Chairman, I don't think I'm badgering the witness. In fact, I said I can identify with the witness because I've had the same feelings so people question me.
Mr. Chairman, please. The gentleman is out of order.
I don't think Ms. Waters has anything to do with this line of questioning, Mr. Chairman.
I most certainly do. I have to do.
Apparently looks upon herself as the defender of the White House. I have the right to ask questions. You had your chance. Why don't you just sit there?
You are out of order.
You are always out of order.
You are out of order. Shut up.
What was that? What was the last remark?
Mr.
I didn't hear. I'd like to hear it again.
Oh, yes. I find it very interesting.
No, I would like you to say it again.
You heard what I said.
No, I didn't hear it.
I said you're out of order.
Okay. I said you're always out of order. Okay.
And Ms.
I think the
Waters,
record will speak for itself, and I just...
Mr. King,
I would like to say,
you are
I think it was
out
Ms.
of
Waters.
order.
He is out of order, Mr. Chairman.
I don't think anyone needs...
Order,
Ms.
Mr.
Waters
Chairman.
butting in all the time. No one
Order,
cares when you're
Mr. Chairman.
Nobody cares about you.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman from New York. Without objection.
Speaker, last night the Democratic majority on the Banking Committee demonstrated conclusively to the American people how desperate they are to keep the American people from learning the truth about Whitewater. As I was pursuing a line of questioning of Maggie Williams, the First Lady's Chief of Staff, showing conclusively that either she or Roger Altman, the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, is not telling the truth regarding White House involvement and interference in the Whitewater investigation, Chairman Gonzalez attempted to gag me, and Maxine Waters, the Congresswoman from California, interrupted me and told me to shut up. Mr. Speaker, this, even for the gentle lady from California, went to a new low. And I want her to know that so long as I'm on that committee and so long as I'm in this House, she's not going to tell me to shut up, she's not going to tell the American people to shut up, and I'm not going to stop till we get to the root of Whitewater. And Mr. Gonzalez has to realize, and Democratic members of that Whitewater committee have to realize they can no longer continue to cover up the truth for the American people. They cannot shut down elected representatives. And I would just say to Ms. Waters, can you imagine the reaction if anyone had told her to shut up, what she would be claiming, the allegations she would be making? There's no double standard in this House. What's wrong for her,
gentleman's time has expired.
What she did is wrong, and I am going to stay on her until it is over.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman. Last evening, a member of this House, Peter King, had to be gavelled out of order at the Whitewater hearings of the Banking Committee. He had to be gavelled out of order because he badgered a woman who was a witness from the White House, Maggie Williams. I'm pleased I was able to come to her defense. Madam Chairwoman, the day is over when men can badger and intimidate women,
Madam Speaker,
marginalize them, and keep them from speaking. I am pleased I was able to come to her defense.
Speaker, I demand
we are now in this House. We are members of this House. We will not allow men to intimidate us
Madam Speaker,
and to keep us from
suspend.
The gentlewoman must suspend.
Madam Chairwoman, thank you again. You see a man who's attempting to shut up a woman.
California is out of order.
You must suspend, gentlewoman.
Madam Chair Lady, do you ever see men?
Madam Speaker, I demand the Sergeant at Arms bring the gentlewoman to her feet.
Do you ever see men do this to other men?
Madam Speaker, I demand the gentlewoman comply with the rules of this House.
It is only when a woman attempts to speak.
The gentlewoman from California, you must suspend.
It is only when a woman attempts to exercise her rights in this House.
Madam Speaker, I demand the Sergeant at Arms bring the gentlewoman to her feet.
You must suspend, gentlewoman from California.
This is a fine example of what they tried to do to us. I am pleased.
Madam Speaker, I move this House to now adjourn.
That I was able to come to Maggie Williams' defense. The women of this nation will not continue to have this kind of treatment.
Put the question.
Would you please?
That's a fine example. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Will the Sergeant at Arms
have the Sergeant at Arms remove her? She's out of order. She's gavelled down.
She didn't sit down.
The gentlewoman was out of order. The chair was about to direct the Sergeant at Arms to present the mace.
Do it now.
The woman has now left. Is she there? Stand. The gentlewoman has now left the floor.
A member of this House had to be gavelled out of order